Okay, we should be ready.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we all please rise? Allegiance. Face the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I ask you all to remain standing for a second. I'd like to have a moment of silence in memory of our beloved trustee, John F., who passed away last month. So thank you. So they call Tuesday Tumbleweed Tuesday. However, I went by the Village Green last night in West Hampton Beach, and they had a free concert, and the people were out into the streets. So I guess there's no such thing as Tumbleweed Tuesday anymore. People might go back to school, but people are still out here. And as I always say, the secret is this is probably the nicest time of the year to be out on the beach when it's quiet, the water's the warmest, and the weather is absolutely cooperative. Hurricane Erin came to our shores 2 weeks ago. Luckily, the storm was not as bad as first anticipated. Myself, Sergeant Hennig, Chief McManus from West Hampton Beach, Ralph Urban, and I coordinated also with people from Suffolk County Parks and town of Southampton in terms of, figuring out what to do for the storm and some emergency responses. And like I said, luckily, the storm was not really, we did not get a direct hit. I mean, there was some high water a little bit on the bay. I mean, the surf was rough for a few days. The beach has pretty much been in good shape since the storm. There's a couple of small issues, I think, on the east end of the village where the groin was. There was a little bit of a scouring, but overall, the beach is pretty much intact. In reference to that, I mean, some people reached out to me saying the village should send out an email. The village should send out an email. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. I mean, it was on every news outlet. It was in every paper. I don't know where you could have been if you didn't know the storm was coming. However, I did send out an email, but the bottom line is, for the future, we have a website and we have an alert on the first page of the website where we're more than happy to put up any kind of notices that affect people. Also, I suggest that, Southampton Town also has alerts such as if a bridge is closed or something else or flooding. So you might want to subscribe to that. But also our constabulary, which I did send this out in the notice for Hurricane Erin, has an X page, which is a former Twitter, and we also have an Instagram for the constabulary. And any type of notices or emergency stuff, we would easily be able to post. Sergeant Hennig can post that anytime there, as opposed to us trying to send out emails to residents. So again, we'll do what we can, but try to, sign yourself up for these feeds and just kind of stay alert when the storm is coming. We do get plenty of warning. The next thing is we've been talking about this for a while. We're formally going to be doing it, that we want to have the same thing as the Village of Quogue. We feel that the sand fencing has done a tremendous job in building up the dunes along the ocean side. And we have a pretty good voluntary participation, but not everybody in the village is participating. So we are going to make the snow fencing mandatory. It's a de minimis cost. It usually lasts about 4 years. And I think it's a great value to everybody on the ocean and everybody else in the village in terms of protecting our dunes. Saturday night, August 23rd, we had our first cookout and conversation. Thank you, Greg, for the barbecue. We had a great turnout. It was a great success. Got to meet some new residents. A lot of residents got to meet each other. That was the 4th program that I've done. It was strictly a social thing. And I look forward to trying to do some more of these things, maybe one more in the fall, and then starting them again early next year. Everybody seemed to have liked it and really enjoyed it. So we will be working on some future events. And again, anybody who's interested in volunteering to support us with these future events or be on the committee would be of great interest to us. We need to change the October board meeting. It was originally scheduled for Thursday, October 9th. And we are going to change it to Friday, October 3rd, due to the Yom Kippur, the Jewish holidays, and also I will be traveling in the month of October, and we didn't want to push it till the end of the month, so we'll just have it about 4 weeks from today on October 3rd, and it has been changed on the website, and I just wanted to give people advance notice. The piping plovers and the piping plover fencing and the strings are all gone. I mean, I gave the report last season. I think we had 20 fledgling hatchlings for this season, so that went pretty well. And hopefully, again, next year we'll try to work with everybody to give you access and paths to the beach. Yesterday was the kickoff for Cupsog Construction. They are basically rebuilding Cupsog. They were fencing off the parking lot today. There'll be some access to the off-road portion in the western part of Cupsog, but most of the parking lot will be closed off. It's fenced off for construction. They're rebuilding the pavilion, and that should be going from now and through the spring. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up on that. The Suffolk County Water Authority, the walkway, the stairs, and now the handrails are completed. They did try coming during the Hurricane Erin storm, and the water was too high for them to install the rail, so they waited for the storm to subside and for low tide, and they were able to install the rail. So that's completed there, and I've been getting a lot of compliments, and people have been very happy with that. A week from next Monday, Robin, the clerk, and I will be attending the NICOM fall training session up in Lake Placid. And that's always a good educational opportunity for myself and for the clerk, and how to network with other clerks, and myself to network with some other mayors. And that'll be happening from the 14th to the 19th of September. I'm happy to say that we've basically collected about 99% of our taxes for the village. There's just a few stragglers out there that have not paid yet, and I think they're at a 6 or 7% penalty at this point. And we are in touch with them and trying to collect it, but we got everything done pretty fast, and I'm pretty happy about that. As far as the financial report, we submitted our 24-25, basically our annual financial report to the auditors. We are waiting for them to finish the audit. We're actually waiting for them to give us any comments or questions they have on the documentation we prepared for them. And hopefully that'll be wrapped up sometime in mid-October to early November. And one more thing that, off our checklist going forward. The next thing is our committee reports, and we do have a update from the Beach and Bay Committee, and Trustee Ryan Osborne is going to be updating us on this report.
Yes, thank you, Erwin, and good evening, everyone. I'll keep this brief, but the Coastal Committee, as you know, met last month, and we are currently in the process of putting together RFIs, or requests for information, on various aspects of preserving, protecting, and monitoring our shorelines. Eventually, we will have subcommittees that will be focused on specific initiatives, while we continue to focus on our overall goals, which are developing a local waterfront revitalization plan and emergency response plan. We also are working to schedule the next meeting, which as of now looks like it will be on September 25th. And again, I just wanted to thank all of our volunteers from the village who are participating. It's obviously a very important committee for our village, and we're trying to do some good work here, and I appreciate what everybody's doing to contribute. So thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Next, Sergeant Henning, you want to just fill us in from your constable's report?
Yeah, I'm gonna just please report yet another largely uneventful summer season. And I want to thank everybody who rented. Really did the majority of the time did a very good job vetting their tenants, and we really didn't have any issues. One of the things that's frustrating is it seems to be an issue again where residents are telling me things that have happened days or even weeks ago where they didn't call us, they didn't let us know. It's so important that you call us when it's in progress, even if you don't think it's that big of an issue, at least this way we can document it. It gets a report written, it's in a blotter, everybody gets to see it, everyone scrolls through, sees what's happened previously, so maybe it can prevent it from being an issue again. And as the mayor said, we dodged the bullet with Hurricane Aaron, but we all have to keep our eyes on the tropics. We're still in the middle of the hurricane season and we have a way to go. And that's pretty much it. Or unless anyone has questions, I want to wait till the end.
Yeah, I think we'll wait till the end. Okay, Gary, you want to read the first resolution?
Resolution approving each of the claim vouchers submitted for audit and approval by the Board of Trustees.
Second.
Okay.
Aye.
Ryan?
Resolution waiving the reading of and approving the minutes of August 7th, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting.
Second. Gary, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ryan, you want to read the third one?
Sure. Resolution approving the purchase of Lexipol software implementation and support for the constabulary not to exceed 20,000.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Gary?
Resolution suggesting the public hearing for October 3rd, 2025, amending the local law 20-13 required sand fencing for all oceanfront properties.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we will move to public comment. We have some people here today, so I don't know if anybody here today is interested in saying anything. If not, we will move over to the people on the Zoom call. If you want to speak, please just state your name and your property address first. Okay, and then,
Right.
oh,
I just had a question.
sure. Just say who you are and where you.
Kevin again from 5 Cove Lane. I just noticed that the mosquitoes have gotten very bad. So my usual practice has been to send something to vector control. And very often they've actually been responsive. They actually come to the house. I just was wondering, is that still the guidance that you recommend?
Brian, you wanna,
So-
we were dealing with this earlier today.
Yeah,
Thank you for
so
bringing it up.
I noticed the same thing you did, and unfortunately, I'm gonna nerd out on mosquitoes with you a little bit. They're not native mosquitoes. We've had them here for a long time. They're Asian tiger mosquitoes. So they're more aggressive. They hunt all day. They hunt in the wind. You know, all our native mosquitoes, sun comes up, they go away. Well, not these. And for some reason, it was just an extremely huge hatch. And if you're outside and you're hearing that, then you know you get swarmed. Coincidentally, I was explaining to Erwin about it and ran into the vector control guy, who did get a call from a few of our residents, and he did come here. I don't know if he treated, but he knows of the issue, so hopefully he'll come back. It is a public health concern, so hopefully they'll be back, but we'll keep you posted. Great. But it doesn't hurt to email or call them as well. You can always, you know, three residents had already called, so.
Who's that picture called?
Suffolk County Vector.
County.
Yeah.
They have they actually have an online report where you can
Yep.
actually just fill in your name, send it in, just tell them, you know.
The more the merrier, pile on there.
The
Yeah.
mosquitoes just came through.
Oh, it started that Friday, bad, but today it was just out of control.
Okay. Anybody, oh,
Greg,
Greg?
949, more, we have some detail on the oceanfront fencing, because I can do that myself normally. So how would procedure work and?
yeah, we'll be putting out the details. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, we're gonna go, physically go along the beachfront and the ocean, see who's missing or see who has anything that's disrepaired, and then let them know that they need to put the fencing in, you know, based upon Regina has mentioned before, kind of, she has the guidelines in terms of, you know, putting it, you know, where it should go on the dune, and it should be held in with wooden stakes, not metal stakes, and, you know, and we'll be happy to help people with the technical standpoint, and if possibly, we'll put together a list of possibly qualified people to help people do it if they, you know, don't do it themselves, and then the last thing I want to do is have to do it for people, but that's, I'll be left with no, it's kind of like if you don't cut your grass in a neighborhood. Does anybody have their hand up, Robin?
I don't see anybody, but it's kind of, I have a big picture of Ryan, so I don't.
Can you take Ryan, can you just go to the full screen? Go to like, the layout, change the layout to,
See up top where it says view?
yeah, the view.
I knew the attorney would know how to navigate Zoom.
Galley. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, so we do.
Oh, I get it.
Pat, does that look like Pat Burns?
Yeah, Pat Byrne, go ahead, unmute yourself.
He's still muted.
There he goes.
Hey, Pat Byrne from 705 Dune Road. In connection with the Army Corps of Engineers, next cycle of sand, a few years out from now when it's due, as a result of the lack of sand at the houses from 699 down to Pikes Beach, didn't get sand. If I remember right, the Army Corps was due to start their survey for the next cycle several years from now, the fall of this year. So my basic question is, when does the very initial beginnings of the survey by the Army Corps of Engineers start to make sure that the village has its voice in it? And we were also going to have a consultant who's really knowledgeable about sand, coordinate very closely with the Army Corps of Engineers to make sure that we get everything that we're legitimately entitled to.
Well, I think the Army Corps said they would be back sometime this fall to do a survey.
Yes.
But that's probably the first of, 2 or 3 surveys in a cycle. And our next replenishment from the Army Corps would be in, I guess, the winter of 28, 29.
Right.
Which is 4 years after we did it. So even though they'll do surveys now, they'll always want to do surveys, see how the storm did. But the bottom line is that they're going to fill us back up to the, and this is something we are negotiating, but it should be the profile that was agreed to in the RAF agreement. We are discussing this, whether FIMP is going to use the same profile or a different profile, but we're not at that point yet, Pat. We're working on it.
Oh, okay, good. I'm very appreciative that the village will be very closely involved with the initial survey to make sure that everything goes the way we think it should be. The second question is in connection with the sand fencing. 3 years ago, I got together with 3 of our neighbors and we put in sand fencing. And I've done sand fencing now for the last bunch of years, probably have 3 rows of sand fencing. So in terms of determining where the best place on my property to put the sand fencing, not the stakes or the woods or the angles, we know all of that, but just where to locate it. Do we go further south? Do we reinforce what has already been done, or do we start to go back to the north, closer to the house? Is there somebody that can help us just locate? And then we've made arrangements with a vendor, and we have the lumber delivered from Spionk Lumber to get it done. And I would do that in connection with 3 to 4 of our neighbors.
Right. Trustee Mohan, who unfortunately due to a family situation is not on the meeting today, but she will be more than happy to help you with that guidance.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Well, I suggest you contact the office and then Robin can put you in contact with Gina Mulhern.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Robin, go to Gallup.
Yeah, Mike Craig.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Robin. I appreciate it. Michael Craig, 664 Dune Road. Yeah, I called in tonight to address some commentary that was made on the last meeting by some residents. I don't think it went anywhere, and I don't expect it to, but it's with respect to the sign on the pillars at the front of the village. And I want to make two points very clear. Number one, I found the comments that were made by both residents to be in poor taste, very self-serving, self-entitled, and factually incorrect. So without dignifying any of their comments, I want to set the record straight because they were making statements that were factually incorrect. Number one, that sign was approved unanimously by the sitting board. Now, I've been on that board for 16 years. Procedurally, everything was done correct. Myself, John F., Harvey Gesson, and Deputy Mayor Tremarky. We were all aware of the plaque. We all had input on the wording. It was presented to the entire village on the Zoom call, and then sitting in the front row was the current mayor and two of the trustees. And so to say that this was done in the dark of night and that no one was aware is factually incorrect. The wording was approved. The placement was approved. The only delay was that it needed to be funded, which was privately funded. And second, it needed time to be done. And some of the materials were not ready. And then when it was done in the middle of winter, we thought it was appropriate to do this in the summer when Gary and his family could be there. And we couldn't get a date that would work. Couldn't get a date with the current board that would work. So Harvey had it installed. So to suggest otherwise is factually incorrect. And I think, quite frankly, I'm going to speak to the befittingness of this plaque. And I'm going to read the wording of it because I don't think it's sentences or paragraphs. Gary's Way, in honor of West Hampton Dunes mayor and founding father, Gary Vigliante, forever grateful for his leadership, dedication to our great community, established in 1993. No part of that plaque is incorrect. I don't think you would find a resident, past or present, living or dead, if they could speak, would debate Gary's sacrifice and everything he did for this village, his leadership. Erwin, you said as much at that June 28th meeting in 2024 and said, quote, I hope to hold the mantle going forward. And I think you've done a good job as the other board members have. So this is appropriately worded. It's in the appropriate place. It was fully disclosed. And if there are residents that, and I don't think there are many, although there's alleged to be a lot, if you have a problem with it, blink your eyes and drive by it. And I'll leave it there.
He said he's done.
No, I know. Is there anybody else? Does anybody else want to comment? If not, we'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. I don't want to cut anybody off.
Michael Craig. Anybody else? I don't see any hands.
What's
in the
okay.
middle there? Can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll see you all in October. And those of you who are of the Jewish faith, I wish you a happy and a healthy New Year, Lashana Tova, and an easy fast. And I look forward to seeing you in October. Thank you.
Thanks,
Did we set a
everybody.
record or?
26 minutes.
Yep.